everybody, let's take 5 minutes out of our day and meditate on God's Word together. Dishonesty creeps into our conversations more than we care to admit. How often have you said something or heard something said like this? "You haven't changed a bit." "I never got the message." "The check is in the mail." "The text message must not have come through." "I'll start my diet tomorrow." "We service what we sell." "One size fits all." "Leave your resume, we'll keep it on file." My personal favorite, "This hurts me more than it hurts you." I just need 5 minutes of your time. You'll be placed on a short hold. It's not the money, it's the principle. Well, we've all heard those things. The kingdom of heaven is a place of authenticity, where we mean what we say and we say what we mean. If we join Jesus in this world-changing kingdom, then we will not use our words to get around doing what we need to do. We will not use manipulation, because manipulation has no place in the kingdom of God. God sees right through it. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus tells us, "Again, you have heard that it was said to those of old, 'You shall not swear falsely, but shall perform to the Lord what you have sworn.' But I say to you, do not take an oath at all, either by heaven, for it is the throne of God, or by the earth, for it is his footstool, or by Jerusalem, for it is the city of the great king. And do not take an oath by your head, for you cannot make one hair white or black. Let what you say be simply yes or no. Anything more than this comes from evil." Jesus is talking about keeping your word. We should be people who don't need to make an oath to be believed. Our words should be so faithful that a simple yes or no should have the same veracity and weight as taking an oath in the highest court. Now, in their context, some people would manipulate their words to make it sound like they're making an oath. They would make a vow to God, but they would say by the throne of God, or something lesser, some roundabout way of saying God, but not technically saying God. So when the time came that they didn't want to pay their vow, they could say, "Well, technically I didn't say God's name, I said heaven." Incidentally, that's why in the Gospel of Matthew you read about the kingdom of heaven, not the kingdom of God. It's a very Jewish gospel. That's just a roundabout way of saying God. But Jesus cuts right through this and says a simple yes or no should have the same weight as the strongest oath you could ever take. Now, even for those of us who don't normally use oaths in a religious context of making vows, we make promises all the time. We always say we will do things. Do we do them? How many of us use our words to make ourselves look better than somebody else? How many times have you ever told a story where just a little slant on it, where you came out on top? You omitted their words, you added some words in for yourself. How many of us will make a commitment to do something, but then we don't follow through? We renege on that commitment because suddenly it became inconvenient, or we just didn't feel like it. Sadly, in our lives, yes means maybe, and maybe means not very likely. But Jesus invites us to live authentic lives where we say what we mean and we mean what we say. If you don't think you can keep your word, don't say the word. If you say the word, keep the word. Don't use words to get out of keeping your commitments. That's the bottom line here. Our words turn into actions. If we're not faithful with our words, we won't be ready to be faithful in our actions when those opportunities come. Jesus is going to invite us not just to live authentic lives, but to go the extra mile. We'll see that next time we Take 5. I'll see you then.